We'll call the regular meeting of the Upshur County Commission to order. We'll begin with a moment of silent meditation and prayer, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. This time we'll have the reading of the minutes of the July 11, 2013 Upshur County Commission meeting. Morning, Jackie.
Good morning.
Jacqueline.
The County Commission of Upshur County, West Virginia held their regular meeting at the Courthouse Annex on Thursday, July 11, 2013 at 9 a.m. Donnie Tenney called the meeting to order. There were present Donnie Tenney, Commissioner, J.C. Rafferty, Commissioner, Troy Brady, Commissioner, Megan Pomeroy, County Administrator, Jennifer Dinklow, Assistant County Administrator, and Jacqueline Dinklocker, Secretary. The meeting began with a moment of silent meditation and prayer, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. All motions passed unanimously unless otherwise stated. After reading of the minutes on motion by J.C. Rafferty, seconded by Troy Brady, the Commission approved the regular meeting minutes of June 27, 2013 as submitted. Donnie Tenney provided a review of certified animal euthanasia technician and humane officer certifications for Michael Miller, animal control officer. After discussion on motion by J.C. Rafferty, seconded by Troy Brady, the Commission approved Mr. Miller's title change to Upshur County Animal Control Humane Officer and pay raise in the amount of 50 cents per hour effective July 14, 2013, as discussed during budget review. Megan Pomeroy provided a review of the West Virginia Community Corrections Grant Number 14-CC-15 in the amount of $247,495. After discussion on motion by J.C. Rafferty, seconded by Troy Brady, the Commission approved and authorized the President to sign the grant agreement and related documents. Megan Pomeroy provided a review of the VAWA Stop Violence Against Women Act Grant, project number 12, VAW 20-020, in the amount of $30,000. After discussion on motion by Troy Brady, seconded by J.C. Rafferty, the Commission approved and authorized the President to sign the grant agreement and related documents. Megan Pomeroy provided a review of the Governor's Community Participation Grant Award, project number 13, LEDA 0236, in the amount of $10,000 for the benefit of the Upshur County Disabled American Veterans, Chapter 36, for building repairs. After discussion on motion by J.C. Rafferty, second by Troy Brady, the Commission approved and authorized the President to sign the grant agreement and related documents. Megan Pomeroy provided a review of the Lewis Upshur Animal Control Facility volunteer application form and spay/neuter assistance voucher. The forms have been updated to provide more specific and/or needed information. J.C. Rafferty requested that forms be amended to include student or rescue information. After discussion on motion by J.C. Rafferty, seconded by Troy Brady, the Commission approved the forms with amendments as discussed. Megan Pomeroy advised that she has followed up with current James W. Curry Library and Park Advisory Board members and for their recommendations to fill the vacant seat as discussed at the June 13, 2013 Commission meeting. After discussion on motion by Troy Brady, seconded by J.C. Rafferty, the Commission approved the appointment of Irvin B. Lake as board member of the James W. Curry Library and Park Advisory Board. The Commission recessed at 9:25 a.m. The Commission reconvened at 9:30 a.m. Representatives of the West Virginia Professional Women's Club appeared before the Commission in support of the West Virginia Women's Week Professional Women's Week proclamation. Spokesperson Jewel Fisher read the proclamation. The purpose of the proclamation is to promote equity for all women and to help create better conditions for working women through the study of social, educational, and economic issues impacting women in the workplace, and designates July 7 through 13, 2013 as West Virginia Professional Women's Week in Upshur County. After discussion on motion by Troy Brady, seconded by J.C. Rafferty, the Commission approved and authorized the President to sign the proclamation. The Commission recessed at 9:35 a.m. The Commission reconvened at 9:45 a.m. Phil Loftus, Buchanan Upshur Airport Authority representative, appeared before the Commission to discuss the renewal of a line of credit loan agreement with Progressive Bank and established signatories. The 10-year renewable line of credit in the amount of $300,000 has a current balance of $291,300. The new agreement will amend the renewable term to 5 years, and the number of signatories will be expanded to 6 instead of the current 3, and will include county officials Donnie Tenney, Megan Pomeroy, city and / Airport Authority official Rich Clemens, and Airport Authority officials Phil Loftus, Tom O'Neill, and Bill Thomas. The loan closing cost in the amount of $375 will be the responsibility of the BU Airport Authority. After discussion on motion by J.C. Rafferty, seconded by Troy Brady, the Commission approved and authorized the President and/or Megan Pomeroy to sign any documents related to the renewable line of credit agreement by and between the Buchanan Upshur Airport Authority and Progressive Bank. The Commission reviewed the following for your information items. Number 1, Upshur County E911 Communication Center reports as listed. Number 2, monthly cat report, Animal Control Facility, June 2013. Number 3, monthly dog warden report, June 2013. Number 4, monthly building permit report, June 2013. Number 5, agendas and/or notices of meetings as listed. Number 6, meeting minutes and/or financial reports as listed. Number 7, meetings as listed. Number 8, appointments needed or upcoming as listed. The Commission approved all invoices for payment. The Commission approved all vacation orders. The Commission approved the following settlements as listed. The Commission approved the following requests for time out of office for Commission employees as listed. The Commission approved the following request to attend meeting for Commission employees as listed. The Commission meeting recessed at 11:15 a.m. The Commission reconvened at 1 p.m. Terry Jo Bennett, Addressing and Mapping Coordinator, appeared before the Commission and reviewed a road name request application for a private driveway that is proposed to have 3 house locations. After discussion on motion by J.C. Rafferty, seconded by Troy Brady, the Commission approved Curry Fay Drive for the private driveway located off of Teeter Road in Hodgesville per the requirements of the E911 Addressing and Mapping Ordinance. The Commission recessed at 1:05 p.m. The Commission attended the meeting of the Upshur County Policy Board at 1:05 p.m. The Commission attended the meeting of the Upshur County Department Supervisors at 2 p.m. The Commission reconvened at 2:45 p.m. With no further business on motion by J.C. Rafferty, seconded by Troy Brady, the Commission meeting adjourned at 2:45 p.m.
Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes as read? Not, I'll ask for a motion to be approved as such.
So moved.
Second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, it's 9:15. We have Jerry Kimball from the West Virginia Classic Wheels Car Club. Review of Blast from the Past event. Morning, Jerry.
Good morning. Thank you for having me here.
We're always glad to have you here, Jerry.
I like to attend. If I can shake anybody up, I like to do that too.
If you can work it into your tight schedule, you try
Yeah,
to be.
I'm sure.
Appreciate it.
Bad schedule today. Ladies and gentlemen, I represent the West Virginia Classic Wheels Car Club. And this coming, well, next week, Friday and Saturday, the 26th and the 27th of July, we are blocking Main Street and some of the side streets. And we're going to try to park cars, antique cars, from one end of town to the other on Friday and Saturday evening. We call it the Blast from the Past. And we're trying to have some entertainment for mostly children. Of course, the entertainment for the adults will be the oldies music and looking at the cars that they used to drive. And anyhow, we've been around, got pretty good response from supporters this year. And I thought that we would discuss this with the commissioners. We still need help. We need volunteers, and we also need some monies. And any amount, $10,000 would be great, but I know that's out of the question. Anyhow, we are going to try to do this every year. We had good support last year, and we're trying to increase that again this year. Hopefully it'll double and grow into something great in the future. And but it takes money and it takes a lot of help. So that's what we're asking for. If any of you can help us, we would greatly appreciate it. What we're going to have is for children down in Jawbone, have bounce house, like a slide, and an obstacle course. Of course, we're going to have music, a band from Johnstown, Pennsylvania. They're called the Rockolas. We're going to have vendors, and we have the cooperation of the city, and we also have the cooperation of our sheriff. He is going to have one of his men escort us to the game farm on Saturday on what we call a rod run. We'll take all the cars that want to go up there, and we'll have a barbecue at in the game back in the park. And then the music will start about 7 o'clock in the evening. The streets will be blocked from approximately 3 o'clock in the afternoon until 10 or 11 o'clock. 10 o'clock on Friday, 11 o'clock on Saturday. So all of our proceeds that are left over from this party will be put in where we can use to help buy baby seats for newborns of parents that cannot afford them, because they got to have a seat to go home in. Or they have to leave them at the hospital. And the sisters don't like that. But anyhow, we go along with and support the Ladies Auxiliary, or not exactly the Ladies Auxiliary, it's the auxiliary at the hospital. And Lowe's, we buy smoke alarms for all newborns for the parents to take home. And then after that, we have a child that has to go to Morgantown or Pittsburgh for treatments of any kind. We try to support the parents on that, on their transportation, buy gasoline for them or whatever might be needed. And if somebody's home burns around Upshur County, Lewis, Harrison, Braxton, any of the surrounding counties, we try to support them. I mean, we can't replace somebody's home, but we make a donation to them to help them out. And that's what we do. I mean, we don't advertise that, except, I mean, we tell the people that support us what we do with our money. If they want to know, of course, Gary Fresh is our treasurer, and he can tell you exactly what our monies go for. So that's about all I can tell you right at this time. If there's any questions or anything, I'll be glad to try to answer them.
Well, I think it's a good event, and it's a good cause for the community, and I think it'll be a good addition to the Festival Friday down in that area also. So we do have, I think, we have about $500 in our community development funds. We have our little pot, Charleston has theirs. I think we have $500 left, so would it be the will of the commission to give half of it to this cause?
It would indeed. I'll move that we give $250 to the car club.
I'll second that.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Well, gentlemen, that's greatly appreciated.
Well, you made a great presentation. I don't know how we could say no to something like that.
The only problem I have with it is that growing up, when people would talk about the blast from the past, it wouldn't mean anything to me. But you get to a certain point in life and they talk about a blast from the past, you do remember it.
Oh, yeah.
Which sort of dates you
I
as
think
to
JC's
how long
saying
you've been
he's to
around.
that point where he remembers it, right?
Yes, I remember.
Sometimes, some days.
It's foggy on other days.
Oh,
better.
yeah.
So,
Okay.
Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Jerry.
Thank you, Jerry. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Jerry.
Now, we've got about 7 minutes for our next appointment, so you all just sit there and relax. We do have coffee. We have, the first item is approval of county depository bonds at First Community Bank. Can you explain how that works, Megan, so everybody knows?
Actually, I'm not sure if Sheila might want to speak to that. This is something that goes on, I believe it's an annual, we approved all the county depositories earlier this year. I think this is an annual thing that we have to do for the funds from the tax office.
Basically, what they do is they monitor that on a daily basis, and so what we have in the bank account, they look at it over a year's period of time, and every year they post a bond for those things, and then the commission accepts that bond. But if we afterwards go up, and they automatically post these bonds
To cover that.
us. It's
Right.
coverage that's above and beyond the
What's-
FDIC
Right.
things.
The federally insured. So now on these, it lists these different bonds. Now, is this the percentage that the county gets on these investments?
I don't have a copy of it.
And it's
Well, it's like-
percentage of what the bond calls for, and it's
It says the investments will be deposited by the First Community Bank or municipal securities, further described as outlined below, and it tells the city and like 2.2%, one's 4%.
That's what the bond is set at.
Right.
So that's not what the county gets. The
Right.
county doesn't get anything from it. It's just that those are pledged to cover our deposits that are in the bank. In case the bank would fail,
Right.
Right.
those are pledged against that to cover.
we're not going to lose any funding. if
So we
there's
don't
such-
get any interest, the county, on like that $6 million, we don't make any money on that?
No.
Well, we get interest from the bank.
Okay,
That's
okay,
all.
okay. That's just the percentage of the interest of the bonds that they're vested into.
And the maturity dates to the bonds,
That's
too.
how the bonds are for what they have, that the bonds are paying, not
Okay.
what the bank's paying.
Okay. Ours is probably just a little less than 4%.
And you'll also be seeing another one come through for progressive.
Right,
also.
right. Okay, thank you very much.
I'll move that we approve
Okay.
the
Second it.
depository.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. Approval of part-time deputy county clerk employment, Geraldine Kopoloff, effective July 22nd, 2013, at $8 per hour, average of 17.5 hours per week, or a maximum of 910 hours per fiscal year. Now, refresh our memory on the funding of this and how this.
This was originally posted back in April, I believe. We had a clerk who left. She
Okay.
left the employment, and so we moved one clerk into her position. And then the position that she left open, we split into 2 part-time positions.
Okay.
So we have already hired at that time, on April 18th, we hired Quayla Bennett and Christine Loudon Edwards. Quayla Bennett moved into a full-time position. Christine moved into the 1 part-time position, so this is filling the other part-time position.
Okay.
This is non-benefit, correct?
I'm sorry.
Non-benefit, correct?
So Christine's been working part-time to fill the other
Yes.
position.
Correct.
Okay, well, do we have a motion then to approve the hiring of this individual with this pay rate, with this capped hours per year?
So moved.
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. Next is approval of maintenance agreements from ESRI and GSI.
These are, again, just annual renewals for our maintenance agreements. ESRI is our mapping system for addressing and mapping. They do work with our 911 center. And then GSI is our tech group, Global Science Incorporated, I believe.
Okay.
And so this is just a renewal.
Ongoing maintenance agreements.
Yes, sir.
Have a motion to approve.
So made.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. Still got 2 minutes, Sheila. So we'll go on to our NACO prescription drug discount card program.
This
And
is, we've gone over this before a few times, but this is the free prescription drug discount card that is offered through the county through our enrollment with NACO, the National Association of Counties. It's free to anybody that would like to use it. It's a card that basically, if you don't have coverage for prescription drugs through insurance, if you don't have insurance at all, then you can use this card to get a discount on the prescription. It's completely free, no enrollment, no requirements really, except that you don't have coverage for prescription drugs.
Right.
So our enrollment in June went up by about 4 people. So slow, but moving in the right direction. But it's something that I think would be pretty valuable to people, and it's available to anyone that wants to use it. So if anybody wants to come pick some up, we have them here. And,
I was just wondering if we should, if we haven't, and, you know, it's something that no matter how long we have it, we always have people say, well, I didn't know about that. That maybe we should make a list of places that we could take some to, you know, like Salvation Army, different places, Parish House. So maybe we could all make up a list, and then we could contact those folks, and we could take some cards there, and maybe I know we've done that in the past. We've taken them to different places, but it seems like
I think we primarily took them to drugstores.
right.
it's
So maybe we could target some of the folks that could use it more, and try to get. And then it'd be interesting because we could track it and see how much it increased the usage of it. I mean, it's a good program. And I see the total average saving is 20%, so I mean, that's,
27%
well, I mean, the average for all the
okay.
years, yeah. Yeah, for this,
for this month, last
yeah,
month.
that would cover the increase in gasoline the last 2 days, so I mean, you know.
Be close.
Sometimes in the past, we have had this in our office too.
Right.
Particularly helpful during the times
Yeah.
that people are coming in the house.
Right, well, maybe there at the tax office somewhere we could set something and maybe just make a little sign, free prescription discount drug card.
And they do provide us with posters. and,
Okay.
I mean, they provide us with free promotional material.
Right.
So
Well,
I'll
that-
get some of those down.
Between the county clerk and the people paying their taxes, we get a lot of people, so that's another good area to promote it. We'll see how, and that, you know, there wouldn't be too much involved in doing that as far as time and stuff, just put it there and make it available to the public. So it's like, you know, they say with retail, location, location, location. And it is now 9:30, and we have Sheila Adams, our Chief Tax Deputy. Employment of tax deputy, effective July 1, 2013, and employment of temporary fire fee clerk. And both of them call for an executive session, so I would ask for a motion we enter into executive session per West Virginia Code 698-4 for discussion of personnel.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
No, same sign, motion carries. Okay, well. Okay, we're exiting executive session and entering regular session, and there were no decisions made in executive session. So the first item is employment of tax deputy effective July 21st. Sheila, if you'd like to step up and give us the details.
We are recommending that Haley Hitt be hired for that position at a rate of $9 an hour.
Okay.
It's a full-time benefited position.
And that's because of her experience?
She does have experience. She has prior tax office experience, and she actually has experience in doing exactly the duties that we need her to do.
Okay. That's the recommendation. Do we have a motion to approve the recommendation?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you.
And the next is employment of a temporary fire fee clerk. And your recommendation, desire on that is to?
Yes, we did speak with the fire board night before last in reference to this, and they have given their approval to bring back on a temporary basis for Wendy Bass, who was the first fire fee clerk, for her to work some in the evenings and on a weekend to try to help us sit this file that needs to be done in the absence of the current fire fee clerk.
Okay.
And the funding for that position, temporary, is from the fire board.
Yes, sir.
Money's collected through
The
the fire
fire-
fee.
the fire board
not
would
from
pay for
general
that.
fund to the county.
Yes, that's
And that would
correct.
be at the rate 11 something?
Her leaving rate of pay,
Yeah.
which was 11 something per hour.
Okay. Okay, do we have a motion to approve that request?
So moved.
I'll second it.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Sheila.
gentlemen.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you,
Okay.
Sheila. You throw that away, it's out of ink.
You too.
Have another one? You another one over there? No, one of the gel ones, buddy. There you go. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, we have a guest with us this morning. Would you like to step up here and identify yourself and your company and let everyone know what service you provide and how it's going to help save the good taxpayers of Upshur County money?
Well, thank you for seeing me. I wasn't on the agenda, but I've been talking to Megan, Ms. Palmer, commissioners, and I work for a company called Johnson Controls. And what we do is we are an American-based company, been in business 125 years, and we do something called energy performance contracting. And the way that works is with the needs of your infrastructure, be it from doors, windows, HVAC units on the top of the annex building, pumps and motors, wherever may be needed down at the pool. Very simply said, the energy savings pay for those improvements. So to have to drain your capital reserves, what it does is we guarantee those energy savings, and those savings will pay for that equipment over up to not to exceed 15 years. It is an investment that is made by the county. Instead of having our electric cost, we had a rate caps come off about 2 years ago. Well, electric here is very much cheaper, one of the cheapest in the country, second cheapest in the country. So, but eventually, with the natural gas business we have going on, gas is going to raise up and electric is going to raise up also. They're both fighting for that space nationally. If you don't make this investment or choose not to make this investment, you're going to keep on paying more for electric due to the fact of the age of your equipment. The older the age of the equipment, the less efficient it is, which is you're looking at using more kWh or more MCF for gas. And these projects are self-funded, no dollars required through the county commission. Nothing comes from your capital reserves. We've done 2 similar projects in Preston and Marshall County. Also, we're working with the state DOC right now on 4 or 5 their facilities. And these programs also allow you to, we have a national grant team. So we have access to all the grants and grant-ready capabilities. It's a very tedious process, but we have people that do that, take it off Ms. Pomeroy's hands from having to write these grants. We can't guarantee grants because the way it works is it's based on construction ready, based on what type of grant it is. They are still, believe it or not, in this county, ECGB money, Energy Conservation Grant Bond money is still available. How much? It all depends how it's spread out through the county. I have our team finding out what exactly is left in those grants. And the most important thing here is that you're making this investment or these changes by doing a partnership with, say, Johnson Controls, where we do not force or tell you what to do. We're going to make the recommendations based on the payback, the savings, and how long the equipment's going to last. It's not really a bid and spec method. It's more based on quality and value. And West Virginia has a House bill, the state energy legislation, that allows, used to be just state government and K through 12. Well, back in 2009, they added local governments, municipalities, counties, cities. And this is something that's Johnson Controls and has been enforced, or just not enforced, promoted by one of the better parts of our government, the Department of Energy, which drives these. That's how they do upgrade a lot of the Army bases across the country, Navy, Army, Air Force, Marines. That's where I learned how this process works. And the DOE performance contract's been around for almost 32 years. It's new to some people. It's a different way of doing business. But the way the federal government looks at it, say for Marshall and Preston County and in Upshur County, if they're interested, it helps them. They look at the little things like, okay, if you're applying for a grant, they see you've done these types of projects, okay. That recognition knows that you're being energy efficient, being more greener, lowering the carbon footprint, all that helps. And what the goal is to have greatly reduced power put onto the grid, the electrical grid. And these types of projects are very beneficial for not only you as leaders of this county, but also your constituents by upgrading those facilities. No reason to do a tax increase, rate increase on anything. We typically, I know from looking at the facilities you have, we would do something called a preliminary energy audit, benchmark utility analysis at no cost to the county. It's our cost as a corporation. We take it on the risk there. We do a baseline analysis to determine, hey, this is what we see how much we can save, and these are the type of energy conservation measures or facility improvement measures we can make for the county. And then from there, the county decides, hey, if they're issuing this program, then the next step would be a public procurement process. And the whole process from today to end of construction, I have it ending probably next May, April-May timeframe. I've walked around some of your sites here last week, and I know the unit on top here is in great need of repair. This is the type of project that can greatly benefit from that. That cost that you have lined up for that kind of equipment can be put into this type of project. So in a 100,000 foot level, what I'm trying to say is performance contracting is a beneficial way, another way to the county to upgrade their infrastructure without draining their capital reserves. And it's all done through grants, refinancing, or third-party municipal lease, work with local banks, work with local contractors. A performance contract allows us by law to be the program manager, construction manager. We do all the bidding, we do all the project management and construction management. So it's less cost to the county in regards to having to go and get bids for every contractor. So that's one of the biggest advantages of it.
Right.
Cuts down on your overhead.
So basically, you take your energy savings, and then that's what pays for the improvements.
Yes, sir. Yes, Commissioner Tenney, that's correct, yeah.
Over no more than 15 years.
That's correct. The state of West Virginia has up to 20, but we typically don't like to more than 15. These types of projects can average anywhere based on the amount of facilities you have. We're looking at 8 to 12-year payback.
Now, would a part of what you offer, the system we have in the courthouse, I don't know if you've reviewed the energy costs on that, would part of what you do take a look at that and see what changes we could make to
Yes, sir.
reduce those energy
Yeah,
costs?
Commissioner Tenney and other Commissioner Rafferty and Commissioner Brady, what we look at is everything that heats and cools all your facilities. Whatever things you may have budgeted or everything you look at in regards to making these improvements, this law allows us to look at all these improvements. So we will look at, we do not push, I work for Johnson Controls, but we own York and I don't push those products. If you have a system here, it's in place. We have technicians know what they're doing. Put everything on automated system if you like. I didn't get that far along yet with Mr. Harris, your facilities manager, but when I met with him a few months ago, there were some of those needs that he asked me about, just as you're asking me about. And yes, we look at the whole building envelope. Anything that the county owns, operates, and maintains, from the pool to the 911 center to this courthouse annex, whatever county facilities, maybe might have forgotten one or two, but you tell us what to look at, we'll determine what the cost is of those, where you should be in regards to the national or Northeast average under the energy usage index. So there's a lot of options that we lay on the table for you.
So the first step would be for us to approve an agreement to...
Yes. I left Ms. Pomeroy last week something called memorandum of understanding, saying basically Johnson Controls is not going to charge the county for the survey. Right. We will work with Ms. Pomeroy, Ms. Jackie, and whoever else in your office in regards to financials, get the utility information, and probably have something. The hardest part is getting the utility information. Once I have that information, I could do a report, have my engineer down here, have something back to you hopefully by beginning of next month, or excuse me, the middle of next month of August.
So we could put that on the agenda next week, then, the memorandum of understanding. So, you gentlemen have any questions? I think it's a good program. And
unrelated, but just a general question, you commented that West Virginia has among the lowest, if not the lowest, energy rates. Mm-hmm. And what do you attribute that to?
Coal.
Interesting.
Coal power.
And if something happens to coal, would the energy rates for West Virginia increase, the average consumer?
I think the people above you now are making decisions. I don't think that's going to happen, but the next thing that could happen, if it's not coal, it's natural gas. Right. The liquefied natural gas, which here it's been going on a lot longer than it just started in up north in Pennsylvania. But that, along with, is what's pushing and what's keeping these costs for balancing act right now. And the labor force with the coal is greatly helps the state of West Virginia.
Right. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time. Thank you.
Okay, thank you now. Well, that looks like that's...
Do we have to approve?
I see, wait a minute, we have a... Pardon?
Do you have to approve? We have to take a motion on
Well,
that?
we'll have to put on the agenda next week.
Next meeting, okay.
We do have a memorandum regarding time extension for community participation grants. It outlines the extensions been applied for, and this is what they're approving as far as extensions.
Correct. We have a number of community participation grants. Some of them, we are awarded the grants right before the grant period is to end because it's sort of a rolling thing. So
right.
These are just extended for another year because they either haven't been completed, we've actually applied for an extension, or they're just rolling them over because we didn't have the full time period.
Right. And that's customary on these.
Right.
That's customary on these grants.
Yes.
They have to apply for extensions because the red tape of everything.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just for our information, and looks like that's it. Do you have anything else, Megan? You gentlemen have anything? Jennifer, do you have anything?
Well, I did attend a meeting of the annual meeting of the Corridor H Authority, which I think has been covered by the media. And there's an event on Monday over in Canyon Valley, and the efforts are to attempt to have the final 25 miles of Corridor H completed by the year 2020 versus 2037, which is the original time frame. There's going to be an economic impact study that is going to be instituted. Hopefully we'll have the results by September, October, which will indicate what we're losing by not having that road completed, the economic development, the employment, tourism, various other aspects that we will be missing out on for every year that there's a delay in completing that highway.
Well, now that completes it to the Virginia line, correct?
Correct. The Virginia authorities have already indicated that they are in the process of instituting legislation to complete their portion of the...
What's their timeline?
They have not stated that at this point, but everyone, Steve Foster, the Economic Development Authority, and the president of the Corridor H Development Authority are optimistic that Virginia will pursue it expeditiously as possible.
Do they anticipate that theirs will be finished by the same timeline as West Virginia?
I believe that is the case.
And if they're not, then what kind of problem does that create if West Virginia is finished but Virginia's doesn't have their
That
section?
would be about a 20-mile section from West Virginia border to
So theirs is not that.
but they have actually committed that they will
Finish
pursue
it.
Yeah. Of course, that gives us access to inland port at Front Royal.
Right.
For our
Right.
for our products, wood products and whatnot, which, yeah, be a great economic opportunity for West Virginia to. They're expanding. I mean, there's a lot of dynamics are occurring at the same time. They're expanding the Panama Canal. They'll be completed with that widening here within the next year to 2 years. Container ships from China, which wants West Virginia wood, will be able to come through the canal, load up at Norfolk. It'll be transported from Front Royal to Norfolk. It can be an economic boon for north central West Virginia and West Virginia as a state.
Buddy might even be able to sow his hay to China, man.
Everything helps.
Yeah,
But,
that's right.
So hopefully that we can move the timetable up to 2020 versus 2037.
Okay. Very good. Anything else? If not, I'm sure we have plenty of bills to pay. No.
They've only been working on that for 37 years.
Yeah.
Yes, in fact, one of the gentlemen at the meeting was talked about how at the very first meeting back, I think in 1968, when Corridor H was, or the corridor system was approved for Appalachia Redevelopment Authority.